has it ever happened that someone did something chivalrous or nice or thoughtful and you forgot to thank them? And then they got really mad at you, maybe even scoffed or said something under their breath. It happens to a lot of us. Sometimes we forget to say thank you. Sometimes we didn't know someone was doing something nice to us. Sometimes we're the person trying to extend the nice gesture and we don't get a thank you. It happens all the time, but rarely do you pull out a gun. So in Connecticut, a man became so upset when he held the door for two women at a Family Dollar store and they didn't thank him that he pulled a gun on them. So Hamden police said the officers responded to a call Saturday afternoon following an incident at a Family Dollar where witness claims Joshua Murray, 25 years old. Oh, poor Joshua, you young soul, pointed a gun at two female customers in front of the store because they, quote, did not say thank you to him for holding the door open for them. Big, strong guy needs gun to defend his masculinity. He was found later on a nearby street with the gun in his possession. He's actually been charged, interestingly, for carrying a gun without a permit, as well as 2 counts of second-degree breach of peace, which I didn't know was a thing. Thank God it is. He was charged with interfering with an officer, which allegedly occurred while he was being taken into custody. He's being held on a $25,000 bond, will appear in court on August 2nd. Remind you, Connecticut, right? Not Texas, not others open carry spots. Texas, Connecticut, still, gun permits are at like an all-time high in the state of Connecticut. Over 28,000 permits were issued for men and more than 18,000 were given to women just last year. There have already been 11,000 gun permits issued in 2022 with several months remaining. So last year there was a lot. Now I don't know if we're gonna keep up with those numbers, but here's my thought. Whatever database Connecticut has for mass shooters, please put this guy on it. I don't even need him to pay $25,000 bail. I don't care. Just please watch him, because this feels like the kind of behavior in a few months we're gonna look back on and be like, gee, maybe we should have, remembered this incident where he aggressed on 2 women for not thanking him for opening the door.
I guarantee you that Republicans will think he's the victim. I mean, if after these charges against him, if he's convicted and if they take his gun away, he'll be a martyr for the Republican cause. And they'll be like, oh yeah, threatening to murder women who didn't thank you. That's, of course, the Second Amendment. Isn't that what the Second Amendment's all about? No, it's actually all about militias that don't exist anymore. And let alone, I mean, look, this is a kind of a devastating fact on the gun point, right?
Yeah.
On the Uvalde shooter, or any of these shooters, but let's stick with him for a second. Was he part of a militia? Well, no, of course he wasn't. So did he have a Second Amendment right, which only applies to militias? No, of course not. Was he part of a well-regulated militia? Well, that's even more absurd. Of course he was not part of a well-regulated militia. So then he obviously doesn't have any Second Amendment rights. And yes, that includes you guys. No, but the Supreme Court, the extremist clown-ass Supreme Court told me that words don't exist and they don't mean the things that they mean. And I believed it because it was convenient. All right, but anyway, back to this story. Guy who just doesn't get how chivalry works. Okay, like opening the door, no problem. Some new school folks say, oh, don't do that, it's blah, blah, blah. No, I got no problem with it. You open the door, wonderful, okay?
No.
And then if they don't thank you, that's on them. I'm saying that you move on with your life, okay? It's not chivalrous if you're asking for thanks, let alone pulling a gun on them for not thanking you.
Yes.
I mean, that's the scary thing about guns, guys, because they are attached to non-intelligent human beings.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say the small,
Nah,
small
you
member.
don't even have to get there. You don't even have to go there. I mean, that guy, forget his rage or whatever propelled him to pull that gun on those poor women. But think about how not bright you have to be to think, well, if I open a door for you, you don't thank me, I get to kill you or threaten to kill you. You know that? Like
it's the fragility. To me, it's like typical male for like this is such a perfect like, I know I'm not supposed to say toxic masculinity or male fragility because people get mad and get really scared when you say that. But this is a perfect example of male fragility. If you're a tough, strong guy, you can take not getting a thank you, right? Is you're pulling the gun on people who don't give you a thank you wave when you let them into the lane or whatever. Like, no, this is so, and I have to say, I've seen men do versions of this. If they let you go, this is my favorite move, Cenk. I don't know if you've seen this or don't do this, guys. But you're like, someone will let me go first, like that. But then they're mad about it. They're like, just go. Like if I'm like not fast enough, it's like, and you're like, okay, you're either being kind or not. Now look, when I hold the door open for people, I usually expect a little beep boop, a little thank you. And if I don't get it, I do get it minimally annoyed. Would I pull a gun on someone? No, because I have bigger ovaries than that. I am much more affirmed in my gender identity and masculinity and femininity than needing to pull a gun on someone.
I have to confess, that whenever I do something that's small, that's nice for other people, I don't do accounting next to it. I don't pull out a ledger and be like, all right,
that's good.
She did not thank me. I'm going to note that one, okay? I don't even notice if they thank me or not. I move on with my life because it wasn't that big a deal. Sometimes, in fact, I'll even joke about it. Like I'll get into an elevator and somebody will have bags or something, and I'll ask them what floor number, and I'll press it, and I'll say like, "Oh no," and they'll be like, "Oh, thank you," and I'm like, "Oh no, it's okay." I love doing small favors. Right? You asked me to move, I got no interest in that. You asked me to press the button 3, I'm on it. Okay, no thank you.
I like
required.
being useful.
Yes.
Just call me a hero. You disappear.
Like I don't want to say I'm a hero. I'm just saying. All right. Look, one last thing about this. I don't know where this falls on the political spectrum, and I don't care. But men are supposed to protect women. Okay. And so it doesn't mean that women require the protection. Okay. It doesn't mean anything about the women. Okay, I'm talking about the men. You're supposed to protect women, and you're supposed to protect children, and you're supposed to protect others. That's what men do, okay? And so if you're threatening women because your ego was bruised, that is unbelievably unmanly, okay? And there's something wrong with our society. Things are breaking down. And so there's 2 stories that have stuck with me. One is a story that Washington Post ran about this poor bus driver, this lovely lady in Denver. And men are constantly threatening her. And they're calling her terrible names. And no other man ever stands up for her. I'm like, what is wrong with us? That no other man on the bus says, hey, don't say that, right? And then the story in LA that I talked about the other day. A guy pulls up a chair in front of a hairdresser filled with women, hairdressing place, and he starts to masturbate. For like 40 minutes, the cops don't show up because cops don't care. They're out getting donuts or whatever, right? But there's no other man in the neighborhood to say, hey, leave, don't do that. No, nobody's doing anything to protect each other. And it greatly bothers me.
I mean, I definitely hear what you're saying. I think if you're in an intimate relationship, like with a guy like that, and you're a woman, I feel that for sure that like there's some amount of protection. But I'm also like, we're living in a time when men are legislating to strip women of any protections of their own bodies, and I'm like, I don't trust any man now. Like the baseline is, I don't even trust you. Yeah, we just got married. Yeah, I still don't trust you. I am like this. I've got this much patience and trust in most men to protect women. But you're right. Like in some, I feel like the right probably thinks, well, once we take all the rights away from women, they'll need protection, and that's why we've got to do this. Because they're helpless little creatures. Who made them helpless? We did. That's what we did.
But Francesca, what you're referring to is exactly part of the problem. Right wingers attacking women instead of protecting them. Oh, I'm going to attack you and take away your rights. I'm going to attack you rhetorically. I'm going to attack you in every way. I mean, look at this stuff they do to AOC.
Oh God!
They verbally attack her in the streets and then they celebrate it, right? And the list goes on and on. And I think that they just got lost. Like theoretically, conservative men were supposed to protect women more, like culturally, traditionally, historically, right?
In country
and now they're like they take pride in attacking women more. What is wrong with you guys?
Yeah.
That is not what you're supposed to do. I think that they're incredibly weak on top of everything else.
But of course, if you come for their women, then they freak out. If you have anything to say about Sarah Huckabee Sanders, how could you? She's a woman.
Yeah.
Well, let's call AOC a big booty Latina to her face. Yeah, no, she can take her. She's evil. She's an evil Marxist.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.